bendición, luz y progreso. So, I wanted to do a video on la comisión de lo árabe. I'm outside again. I got good feedback on my last video where I spoke about the Arabe briefly. I can't remember what I said. But I wanted to speak on this particular comisión. I want to start off with not every Arabe is the same. Not every Arabe is a man. You may have a female Arab guide. So everything that I say, you need not to take with a grain of salt, but to understand that if you have an Arabe that walks with you, he or she may be young, may be old, may be religious, may not be religious, may be serious, may be may like to dance, and that goes with any and all guías espirituales. Okay, so me personally, this statue represents the Arabe that walks with me. And it's something that you can find at Medio Botanica. I got this statue. I was maybe 25 years old, so almost, I don't know, 7 years ago. I'm 31 now. It was actually at a Haitian Botanica in like Elizabeth or Jersey City or something. And I never seen it before at that point. And so I fell in love with it. Man, I paid like $70 for it. Still got it. So this one happens to be dressed in gold. The Arabe that walks with me is an old gentleman. I have been to misas where I remember seeing it was actually an American Indian guy who had what I thought was an Arabe, and was dressed in robes, just like you see here. It was plain robes, and that guide of his looked like a damn GQ model. He had everything shaped up and looking nice. I don't know if he was royalty or something. But when people see mine, he is an old, wrinkly. I've heard people say, "Man, you que tú tienes un árabe feo," and then I got an ugly Arab, and he's just super duper wrinkly. And I know my Arabe, he loves to pray. He's a very, very, very religious man, and he is all about Allah. And the role that my Arabe plays in my life is he is a father figure to me, a huge influence in my life. He is the first muerto that I've ever passed, and not every Arab takes liquor. A lot of them don't. You would imagine that, oh, he's religious, so he wouldn't drink. Mine does. He enjoys anisette, sweet drinks, and tea, mint tea. So as you gain a relationship with your Arabe, with all of your guides, a lot of this is applicable to all of your guías espirituales. You learn their likes and dislikes. In general, I just wanted to give just a little preference of me and my experience with my personal Arabe. Okay. In general, when you know you have an Arabe that walks with you, you can keep a Quran at your bóveda. You can keep a pyramid at your bóveda, because stereotype is That a lot of people's Arabe spirits hail from Egypt. So you have the symbol of the pyramid, which represents mystery. You can keep sand, like a plate with sand, dry sand on it, and you can put the pyramid on top of that. The Arabes track the stars, which is one of the reasons why I have mine outside. One of the reasons. They track the stars. A lot of them work with fire. So if that's a super strong influence in your life, then always keep a candle with your Arabe. Me, candles are too damn expensive. Right now, I have a little tea light candle that's here. I knew I was going to do this video. And so just to give me some inspiration for this particular video, I put a candle there. The Arabes, they like to smoke, in general. Whether the Arabe takes tobacco, which we know tobacco wasn't discovered until Columbus came over here, and then with the Tainos, they had tobacco. During what time period my Arabe existed, I don't know. But tobacco, that's what I give him. Whether the Arabe also takes, in general, whether he takes hash, whether he takes weed, whether, I know in the Arab world, or at least Afghanistan, like opium, the Chinese as well. The closest thing I got is tobacco. But I mentioned those other substances. I mentioned weed because, I have no problem with weed. If I had a friggin' a spirit that enjoyed weed, that's what I would be smoking on. But in general, the Arabes, they take smoke. If yours is super religious, maybe he does not want liquor because it's against the Quran. I would never give pork, an offering of pork or a plate of pork to my Arabe. Let me think. There's a lot of fire. What you can do is get a caldero, like a cauldron, and have a fire. You can put alcohol, because Florida water is too damn expensive these days. You can put alcohol, rubbing alcohol, like 90 or 91%. Put that inside of a caldero, or a metal bowl of sorts. Drop the alcohol inside and light that on fire, and clean yourself with the fire in the name of your Arabe. Play prayers. Play prayers from the Quran. Play the call to prayer. When you feel your Arabe around, or you want to attract him to that space, play the Muslim prayers. Play the flute. Any instrumentations that have their origin in Islam, and I know there's a difference between religion and race and culture, but you know what I mean. Like the duduk is a kind of flute that's native to what's that country called? It's not Turkey. I can't remember. But the duduk, D-U-D-U-K, that kind of flute, dance music that it's like a special, like a guitar from the Arab world. Just look up like traditional Egyptian music, traditional Iraq, Iran, that kind of music. Look that up and play it. What role does an Arabe play in general? Like we know the Madama and the Congo, a lot of them are curanderos and they break brujeria. That's their specialty. And a Gitana, generally the generic thing, Gitana is for love and Gitanos are for love. What about the Arabe? The Arabe is called upon for wisdom. Their insight comes from the constant solitude and loneliness that comes from the vast deserts. And looking up at the stars and contemplating life, contemplating the afterlife, contemplating God. And with that comes wisdom. The wisdom of the secrets of the sand, of the sky, of the fire. Dice incense. You can put incense to your Arabe. Fragrances, oils. You can get Muslim oils and put that. You put it here. Your Muslim oil and put it on the statue. You put that on the statue. Mine prefers a pipe, but it's a pain in the ass to use a pipe, so a lot of times I use this. In the case of mine, I know that mine was a successful merchant, and what he sold was precious semi-stones. So I don't have it here. It fell, but I had an amethyst stone somewhere. I can't find it. Over here I have my Egun shrine over here. Ideally the Egun shrine, which is a completely separate subject. Ideally the Egun stuff would be completely by itself, and I do have I have like a foot of space as a demarcation, because I'm not a sancochero. Egun is Egun, that's Santeria, that's Lukumi, and this is Espiritismo, but for the sake of space. So people have to be understanding that you have to work with the space you have, and I've already done a whole video on that. But just in case you were wondering, what the heck, Conquistador got his Egun stuff over here, but he has his a little boba over here. It's separated, trust me. And as a matter of fact, I have my Arabe on the top here, and I have a glass of water to my Indio. Forgive me if I'm sounding weird. I'm not feeling well. Probably, ironically, it's my lungs that aren't feeling well. It's probably this, huh? What else? So, like I said, you could put teas. You could put almonds. You could put dates. You put things when you want to get insight on a specific muerto that you have that walks with you. That is not a common muerto to have, like the Arabe, like the Chinito, the Chinaman. If you have a Japanese guide, if you have a Hindu guide, if you have a pirate, yes, pirates can be a guide. If you have a Viking spirit, if you have those Germanic tribe spirits, a bard from like England, if you have an English kind of witch that walks with you, male or female, one of the best things that you can do is look into the culture, at least generally in that culture. At least if you have an Indian person that walks with you, it's going to be referred to as a Hindu. Maybe that person was not Hindu, maybe they were Sikh. But you look into the food and the culture and the music, the smells, the incense that I get from my Arabe is not my excuse me, my Arabe is not going to be the same incense that I get from my Hindu. Okay? When it comes to colors for the Arabe, mine presents himself with gold, and so if I wanted, I could get a gold candle. I can get yellow, but honestly, what matters is the flame. I put black candles when that's all I had. I put black candles at my boveda because that's all the hell I happen to have, and I wanted to light a candle. For me, I personally don't put a lot of emphasis on what color a candle is, because You know, people, we come in all shapes and sizes. We all bleed the same color. Candles come in all shapes and sizes. What matters is the flame. That's my point of view. What else? The Arabe. The influence that he or she may have on your life. They come to bring wisdom. They come to bring peace. Now, my Arabe happens to also clean. Yes, he cleans with fire. Absolutely. Maybe yours cleans with water instead. So it's not just it comes for wisdom, but the Arabe, they clean. All the spirits, they clean. The pirates and the Vikingo, they clean. Maybe in different ways. Even if you have a nun or whoever, they clean. Maybe the actual means in which they do it. Sometimes if an Indio comes down, maybe he'll bang sticks around the person as a cleaning. I've seen a person's negro. I've seen a person's negro take Florida water. It was actually India's at a misa. She got mounted with her negro, put Florida water, asked me to put Florida water in his hands, her negro, and put hands into the fire of the candle that was there at the bóveda, and then lit both hands on fire and cleaned the person while the hands were still on fire. The Arabe, at least mine, does the same thing, cleanses with fire. That's why I said you can get a cauldron. It doesn't have to be like that, but just a little caldero, whatever, of fire, and you clean yourself. I'm not saying to take Florida water and light your hands on fire. I'm saying that she was mounted when that was done. But fire, that's the specific element that mine happens to work with. I would suggest if a person wants to connect to their Arab, sit at your bóveda and play prayers from the Quran and just sit and be calm. Sometimes to connect with your Congo. I'm a very audio oriented person, and so I'll play loud raucous like palo music and stuff like that. The Arabe, at least mine, is a very religious, calm individual who, like I said, is a father figure to me. That's what works for me. Another person that I know, they have an Arabe, but this Arabe is a female gypsy who loves to dance, who is flirtatious, but is still an Arabe and falls in that category. So it could fall in the category of Arabe, it could fall in the category of Gitana. It's a female Arab Gitana who does not like to pray, who is not religious, and who acknowledges my Arabe and that specific Gitana Arabe spirit. Even though she acknowledges my Arabe encourages her, yo, calm down, be still, pray. And that female spirit says to mine, yo, you've been praying all damn day and been in meditation all damn day, praying to Allah. Why don't you come and party? Why don't you let your hair down and party? Spirits can have interactions. My own Arabe can have an interaction with someone else's spirit. Smoking him on the daily, not on the daily, but just giving basic things: water, fire, cigar, in my case, anisette. If I don't have anisette, I'll take freaking rum. I have a negra who does not take rum at all. She does not take smoke at all. Not every single spirit's going to take rum and smoke. I imagine that most Arab spirits are not going to take rum because Arabs don't drink. This guy does. This video is already long enough as it is, but I want to mention that I just want to reiterate, not every spirit is the same. What works for me may not work for you. Why? Because I'm speaking in generalities, and some of the stuff I'm saying in the same video, I'm speaking very specific as to what my Arabe tells me to do. My Arabe works at night. He is a night owl, and he loves to gaze up at the stars and navigation of the stars. Maybe yours is more during the day, and the sun, which also represents fire. Maybe that works for you because that's how your Arabe happened to work and lived their life. I don't know if I mentioned it already. I know I did, but like I had a mine sold stones, semi-precious stones, and I had an amethyst somewhere. So I had an amethyst, and I keep it around the table as a representation of the part of the life that he lived. He had a thing for stones. In the past, I've also had a glass of water, and I put semi-precious stones inside for him. A lot of times, I don't have it here now, but a camel, a little representation of a camel. Why? Because that was the main transportation for those people back then. But remember, the biggest thing that you can give to any of your guías espirituales, which is more important than any statue and all this, because if this breaks, this don't mean nothing. This is just a physical representation from my own mind. If it gets stolen or whatever, it breaks, then I'm not going to be like, oh my God, where my Arabe go? No, my Arabe was here from the time I was born to the time I'm dead, whether or not I got a piece of plastic to represent him or not. The biggest thing that you can give any of your guías espirituales is pan, which is prayer, bread, prayer. That is the bread of life. Prayer and acknowledgement. A glass of water and a candle. Sometimes, I think this is the muerto, remember years ago, that wanted a space of his own because he played such an important role in my life. He wanted a space of his own. Well, I don't got it like that. And I have one of my representations of my Indios right below. He has a little space of his own, but he don't got a whole like freaking shrine, okay, to himself. But he has the space to himself. But always work with the space that you have. And yeah. Oh, and this just represents a walking stick for him. I don't bang it on the floor like it's something of Egun or whatever, but I saw it and I liked it, so I gave it to him. But that's it. I hope this resonated with somebody. I know this video is long-winded, so if you actually made it this far, thank you very much. Bendición. Assalamu alaikum. Wa alaikum salam. Yeah, that's it. Peace out, guys.